We do welcome you back to GMA. And this morning we are doing something special. We're devoting this next half hour to talking about menopause with Oscar Award winning Halle Berry is here with us. We have two wonderful doctors, experts that are going to help us through this. And can we just talk about this audience of women that we have? Thank you for making the time to be here and talk about such an important subject as menopause. And this woman, she took her message to Capitol Hill. Take a look.
I'm in menopause!
Menopause is having its moment.
The shame has to be taken out of menopause.
Oscar winner Halle Berry pushing back against harmful stigmas, supporting a $275 million bill that would fund research and education on menopause.
I'm here as a citizen of the United States, as a woman who is demanding that our government give us what we need because we deserve it.
A 58-year-old encouraging women to step up to support women's health for years to come.
You stand up in your own state and you demand that there's a change and that money is allocated for your health in midlife and beyond. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, we thank you very much. And we're going to have the doctors that are sitting right here, Dr. Shepard, Dr. Mackey, they're going to join us. We have this wonderful audience as well. But can we just talk to Halle just for a minute? Can we do that right now? Because you are our champion right now. And what caused you to go to Capitol Hill to bring this message?
Well, this is my favorite subject. Like, I can talk about this ad nauseum, but what got me there was realizing that I was in perimenopause and had no idea. No idea. Nobody, I was 54 years old, 54, and no doctor that I had dared to talk to me about it. It was as if this would never happen to me. And I got a misdiagnosis. I've told the story ad nauseum, so I won't do it again, but I got a misdiagnosis of herpes. Right? And that's not an easy thing to hear. And my doctor diagnosed me just by looking at my symptoms, doing an exam. And he goes, this looks like the worst case of herpes I've ever seen. I was like, what? Herpes? Just to find out 3 days later, it wasn't herpes at all. And I said, well, what is that then? He didn't know. Right? And that is what got me so riled up. And I thought, wow, if I have one of the best doctors, and my doctor truly is an amazing man, it's not his fault. Doctors aren't educated in the subject, so it's not their fault, but I have one of the best doctors in all of California, and he didn't really understand what this was. That made me realize there must be millions of women that don't understand this.
And didn't you even have a doctor who didn't even want to use the word menopause?
I have another doctor. My eyes were drying up, and my glands in my eyes, and he didn't want to say, well, this is because of menopause. And I was the one to say to him, what's causing this, doctor? And he was like, well, they're drying up. And I said, but why? Tell me why. He couldn't say it. And because he couldn't say it, I also said, this is the problem. He was afraid to say it because he said, if I say this, women are going to punch me in it. Women don't want to hear that they're in menopause. And I said, but you're a healthcare practitioner. You have to talk to us about this. And that made me realize, as women, we have to make it okay. So how do we make it okay? We say the word. We say, I'm in menopause. That's okay. It's a normal stage of life. It's what we're going through. Don't make it, it's not a disease. Don't make it a negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about it and let's figure out what we can do. I want 35-year-olds to start thinking about, oh, that's coming, and I want them to start understanding through the great doctors and great books that are on the market now, what they can do to sort of ease into this time of life in the best possible way. And don't be afraid of it. Be fearless about it.
Because we didn't talk about it.
No.
We didn't talk about it.
No.
And it's so...
Too much shame.
But not anymore.
And it meant we were old. And what happens is, when we're out of that 25 to 35 childbearing years, society has taught us, well, we're done. Because as women, that's all we're here to do is pump out these babies. Well, hello, that's just not true. I am in the best act of my life, my second act, and we all can be. Right?
That's it.
We all can be.
I have been around you for many years. I can't remember the last time the passion that is just oozing out of you right now. And this is an important discussion for all women to have. And in particular, women of color, because it's different.
We suffer disproportionately, right? Our heart disease, we're at risk for, diabetes, dementia, Alzheimer's, all of that, we're at greater risk, us ladies of color. And so we really have to, and this is a time of our life when traditionally women lean out of the healthcare. No, we need to lean into our healthcare, right? Change our diet, change our exercise. Weights, this tire's gonna show up around your belly. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. And you can't, it's gonna happen. I thought, my ego said, oh, that's not gonna happen to me. I work out, I eat well. Guess what? Tire showed up. And I had to change my eating, exercise differently, and I manage it. But we have to know that we have to start that sooner. Don't wait for the tire to show up. Know that it's coming and be prepared for that.
And talk a little bit more like that. She's just preaching right now. I'm leaning in as well. But what can we as women do to be able to do what you're doing and freely discuss this and to know all the things that you are saying and embrace it instead of running from it? Not that all women do that, but some.
All of us do, I can tell you, because we're afraid. We have to be fearless. We have to, define who we are, right? We have to talk about it with our partners, like your husbands, your wives. Talk about it with them. Talk about it with your children. We have to reclaim this narrative and destigmatize it. When we're comfortable, we make them comfortable. I was at a conference recently called Brilliant Minds in Sweden, and I said some words, and these men in this audience looked like they had been gobsmacked. And I thought, sorry, but you need to hear it. And they came up to me later and said, that was really hard to hear. I said, really? Imagine living through that. What would that feel like? So I'm sorry you can't hear it, but you need to hear it, because this is happening to us, and we cannot be discarded. So what do I say? Talk about it with ease. So what if you make other people uncomfortable? Don't care. Reach out to your senators right now so we can get this bill passed.
It's a bipartisan bill.
It's a bipartisan bill. So whoever your senator is, reach out to your senator. Tell them you demand health care for midlife women. You demand this act to be passed. You demand funds to be allocated just for menopause. Because if we wait for the NIH to do it, everything becomes more important than women going through midlife. And we're half the population, and we spend half of our life, because we're starting at 40 and we're living until 80. So half of our life we're in this period, and there's zero information out there for us. We need new therapies, developed. We need information, more studies. We need all of it, and we deserve it. We are responsible for procreation. These babies come out of our bodies. You don't just dump us off after we do that very important act. No, we say no, and we have to say no. We have to stand up and say no.
All right, we're going to continue
Yes.
this conversation.
Let's continue.
We're going to continue this conversation. Put it right here.